my next guest has battled obesity her entire life. Like so many people, she tried just about every fad diet there is. Then 2 years ago, weighing 285 pounds, she boarded a flight and had a moment. The cabin crew gave her a seatbelt extender. She says it was the wake-up call that she really needed. Since then, she's dropped 122 pounds, which is incredible. Please welcome Kaya, everybody. I mean, first of all, congratulations.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
It's a lot of weight.
It's like a whole human.
Yeah, but it's like a lot of, not even like I just mean like it's a lot of, I don't know, just like a hurdle to be like, oh, is that hurdle too big to conquer, you know?
Yeah, I feel like it feels like you're standing at the base of a mountain looking at the top, feeling like, how the heck am I gonna reach that?
Do you feel like when you were young is when you first started having issues with weight?
Absolutely. You know, growing up, I grew up on a 6th-generation cattle ranch. I was always surrounded by delicious, nutritious food. But I remember being hyper aware of my body size as young as I can remember. You know, I knew I didn't look like my thin, athletic cousins. I knew I didn't look like the Barbie dolls I was playing with, like the women I saw on TV. And I also was surrounded by the women in my life that were always on a diet, always talking about how they needed to lose weight. And so I thought, if they think they need to change their bodies, I probably need to change mine. Yeah. And so I had a lot of shame about my body from a young age. And I think the first diet I went on, I was 10 years old. And that dieting cycle continued all the way up until I was 25.
Wow, that is so young.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and it is interesting, even as a mom, I always am like careful with my words in every sense, but just to not inadvertently project my own issues, you know, on my kids. Can you tell us more about when kind of your turning point happened?
Sure. So a few years ago, I was on a flight from Kentucky to Arizona for a work trip, and it was the first time I had to ask for a seatbelt extender on an airplane. And the only thing I could do not to burst into tears out of embarrassment was to shove my face in this book that I happened to buy that day in the airport bookstore, which was Rachel Hollis's book, Girl, Wash Your Face. And that was my turning moment.
Now, I don't believe in coincidences, so I don't know. I think that was all meant to happen like that. You're meant to be feeling that kind of thing. You're meant to pick up that book. I don't know. I feel like moments like that happen in my life where I'm like, this can't just have just happened out of no. This wasn't happenstance.
I totally agree. I feel like it was the words I needed to hear at the time I was ready to receive them.
At the time you were ready to receive that is so important.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you have to want to be motivated. You have to want to be there. So what was it about the book that you feel like stuck out to you? Because had you ever read any other books that were kind of helpful like that? Why this one?
You know, I think that the timing had a lot to do with it, but reading her book, her words were like getting slapped in the face in a good way.
Yeah.
It was kind of a hard pill to swallow. You know, her book talks a lot about taking massive ownership of your life. And I had realized that I had been playing victim in my life in a big way. I blamed my job for why I didn't have the time or the money to invest in the resources. I blamed my genetics for why I couldn't lose weight. I blamed my partner, Brent, because I said, if he doesn't do it, then I can't do it either.
Yeah.
I blame everyone and everything around me.
Those are all excuses I feel like so many people use.
I think we all have used them. And what I wasn't doing was taking ownership of my life and my choices. And it was a hard pill to swallow to say, the reason I'm feeling unhappy, unsatisfied, and unfulfilled is my fault. But at the same time, Kelly, it felt like the most freeing moment ever. Because if it was my choices that got me here, then it's my choices that can get me somewhere else.
So this isn't just about losing weight for you, right? It was kind of a whole mind, body, spirit, whole thing, right?
Oh, the whole thing. And you know, when I started, full transparency, it was about the weight, right? I thought, I had this magic number, 150 pounds. I'm gonna reach that number and everything's gonna be wonderful and glorious, which I know now that it was never about the weight. It really had to do with that internal relationship. It's not about reaching a goal weight. It's what you wanna feel, what you think weighing a certain number makes you feel. What you wanna feel is energetic, is confident, is happy in your own skin, strong. And you can feel that at whatever weight you are. And so I had to really realize I could start there. But when I started losing the weight, my friends and family started reaching out saying like, oh my gosh, Kaya, we love what you're doing. Would you ever consider coaching? And I thought, hey, there's something to this. You know, I'm just sharing my heart and this experience that so many other people have struggled with. And the coolest thing is now being on the other side of the struggle, knowing that I can help empower thousands of other women walking through that same thing.
Yeah, so not only you get benefit from your own testimony, but others can as well. Yeah. I know someone who's been following your journey and wants to meet you, so let's bring her in. It's the author of the New York Times bestselling book, Girl, Wash Your Face. That's right, it's Rachel Hollis! I wish y'all could hug.
I want to hug you so badly. I can't believe it's you in the flesh. Oh my God. Thank you.
Yes, girl, yes.
I do look amazing.
I do look amazing. But Rachel, you and Kai have never met, obviously, before that. We just realized that.
I mean, I feel like we've met. I've been stalking her for a long time now.
No, but you say that you saw her, right, online?
Yeah, I did see this story when it first came out, and I have to tell you, the success of the book has been so overwhelming that getting to hear your story, like getting to like hear how it helps someone personally is such a gift. And I think the lesson for you, and I think the lesson for people watching at home, is this reminder that our stories have values. Like not what someone else does, not what she's doing or what your sister is into or what your cousin loves, but what is your truth and how do you speak that into the world? Because it's sort of this idea that we're all walking down these paths. And when you get to the end of the path and you can turn around and hold up a light for somebody else, that's what changes the world. And as women, I think we struggle so much to stand in our own power, to use our own voice. And so I freaking promise you the ripple effects of you choosing to do this in your life and then telling that story and being public about it, just for these, look at these fun people who are learning right now. Like, you are changing your community, your family. Like, this will reach for generations, and you won't even be able to see the effects of the change that you've made, because it'll continue long after you're gone.
Yeah.
Which is a beautiful thing. And I actually, you mentioned the audience, everyone's like, I gotta get this book. Like, what is in this book? And I gotta say, but not only the book, but you also offer a program for women to experience more interactive learning as well, right?
Right. So I do something called the Rise Women's Conference every year. It is a 3-day event. The first day we focus on the past, so we talk about trauma and what we've gone through. The second day we focus on the present, so what are the daily habits and tactics, those 5 things. And then the third day is all about the future. How do we set goals? How do we dream big, impassion goals for ourselves, personally or professionally? And for the first time ever, Rise Women's Conference is virtual. And Kaya was wondering if you want to be a VIP guest and join us for conference in person.
Yes, times 1,000. Count me in.
Good, fantastic.
Which is kind of a bummer that it's virtual, but at the same time, I mean, I'm silver lining girl, but you might be able to reach even more people because they weren't able to come. So you could probably reach
here's
so
the
many
thing,
people.
because it's a women's conference, we've had women who haven't been able to come because of childcare or they couldn't afford the travel. So for the first time ever, we're in so many different countries. We're with sisters all over the world. And what I have learned in this work is it doesn't matter if you're a mama in Ireland or Iran or Austin, Texas, we are way more alike than we are different. We have a lot of the same hopes and concerns and
struggles,
body image issues, and all of that stuff sort of comes back to the same place. So I know I sound cheesy, but to be able to have this many sisters doing it at once, I feel like we'll shake the foundation.
It's empowering.
Yeah, absolutely.
Truly. For more details on Rachel's Rise Live Women's Weekend, check out our Instagram story right now, and also check out the Rachel Hollis podcast, which I now want to listen to as well. And also get that book. It's Girl Wash Your Face, right? I mean,
It
that
could
could
change your
transform your life. Yeah.
Want more fun stuff? I thought so. Check out these videos floating around my head. This one is really cool. I'm just saying. No pressure.